All right, episode 170B. I'm your host, Christian, and Stat Guy Rise, still quarantined. We should be getting a show together soon. Today, because there's no other content, and I'm just digging from the bottom of the barrel. I got my buddy Matt on today. We had this whole opening before, but then I had some technical difficulties about how he's you're a bohemian who hasn't shaved in 3 weeks. And
well, thank you for the warm welcome. You were much nicer first time around.
But I figured you're a good guest this week just because you live in the city. The city's a fucking ghost town right now, which is, it's got to be crazy. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. I've had this conversation with so many people this week, right? So the hospitals are in dire situations, obviously. Like, can't shortchange that at all. But I'm probably part of the problem. I go outside like every day to exercise and just walk around.
Do you cough on people?
Out of my apartment. No, I don't cough on people. It's terrible.
Yeah,
I'll get sick.
Yeah, but you know what's
true? Coronavirus like 3 months ago. I'm pretty convinced of this, so I'm good already.
You know, we both live in the same town. Unfortunately, I live in the town you grew up in now. You know Garrett Mountain?
Great. Yeah.
To get the kids out, we'll drive through Garrett Mountain just to get the fuck out of the house. There's like people playing basketball and people think like they're like walking around, but they're like walking with their friends. They're not walking with people they're quarantined with.
Right. Oh, that's what you can't, like, if you're obviously your family, that's a different situation, right? But if you're like, come on, bro, let's go shoot some hoops. They took all the hoops. They took all the rims off of the basketball hoops in the city because people have on pickup games. I swear to God, I was in the park that I go to around the corner from me. They have like the playground is blocked off because everyone took their kids there to just stick around. And then, all the hoops are stripped. All the rims are off, so you can't even do anything. It's just a backboard.
That's wild.
It's crazy.
You got to use your imagination.
Somebody in a park, somebody from the parks department came through and chased us out. They're like, "We're closed. Get out of here!" At like 6:45 or something like that yesterday.
It's so funny to me that like forever everyone's like, "You guys got to put the technology down, get out of the house." And now you can't leave, and I'm just like, to my kids when they annoy me, which is most of the time, I'm just like, just go on your iPad.
Here's the iPad, yeah.
My kids are like, Daddy, I don't want to be on my iPad. I'm like, just get on the iPad, watch TV,
buy any game you want,
It doesn't matter. I just bought something for like $9 I'm like, I don't care. Just here. You want me to unlock all the jewels for your game? Here you go.
Isn't it great? Like, it doesn't matter. I'm convinced that it doesn't matter how much money you make. It's so hard to push that like $1.99 per button for an app. You're like, fuck that. I'll buy the light version. Sorry.
So I have you on for. What were you saying? You go.
No, I was gonna say my other point on with the technology and what people are doing and everything. I was saying to someone else the other day, like, everyone's like complaining about being locked inside and like, I can't go out and like, this isn't fair and all that shit and complaining. Like, 90% of people just sit at home and watch Netflix anyway. And you're like, what does everyone have this grand adventurous life before this all started?
Yeah.
Like, people didn't do a damn thing.
You know me better than anyone. I told my wife, I'm like, this is what I was born for. Like, don't. Okay, you want me to not do anything? Don't leave my house and just sit on my couch? It's perfect.
Done, and I'm doing a good job.
I've been practicing for 30 years. I have you on to talk. We'll talk. I figured I'll pretend like I care about your life in the beginning, since I never ask you personal questions anyway, like that. But the true reason I have you on is because you claim to be a Mets fan, and you're not. I mean, you are. If they're good,
I am, but I'm not.
You are if they're good. You go to a lot. You go to a lot of games. Well, pretty much. I just want to expose how much of a non-Met fan you are, how much of a fraud you are, because there was a time. There was a time that you were pretty much a Yankee fan. Like,
well, because the only people that would go to games when we were into going to games and like people buying beer for us was you and Ergo and whoever else it was. So
yeah,
we would go to Yankees games all the time,
and we'd play Dizzy Bat, and then get hammered and throw up, which is what I did this past weekend. Our buddy Dave turned 31 miraculously, and I told you that I don't drink that much anymore. And that day I picked up Truly watermelon kiwi, which I had once, and I was like, you know what, this stuff's good. And
Bud Light seltzers are good.
I bought a 12-pack of it because I'm like, I'm going to start drinking early. I want to have enough. I had 11 of those. I actually remember now. I had 11 of those because my wife took one of them. Then I had 2 Twisted Teas, which was just out of desperation. And then I had a glass of scotch and about 8 shots of bourbon, you think?
Yeah, we had a few. We had a few of those. But yeah, you turned it on pretty quickly because we talked, 2 weeks ago, and you were like, yeah, I don't really drink anymore. I haven't been drinking a long time. Then you FaceTime me like drinking a margarita with your kids, and I'm like, what's going on here? You just
I turned it up.
For Saturday.
Sometimes you just got to get it out of your system. And and I puked. I got it right back out.
Yeah, you did. You lost your fastball, some might say.
It was not good. Puked twice. I haven't puked twice from drinking in a long time. You get the one puke and you're good. This carried over.
That sticks with you for a couple days. Those aren't the fun ones.
Anyway, so one story I wanted to tell was I can't even think it. I think it was 2012, I guess. Jeter's last year before he retired was when we were playing tennis. I used to be in decent shape and I used to kick your ass in tennis, and you just look. Yeah. They were. I think it was, again, I don't feel like fucking looking it up. Whenever Jeter broke his leg during the playoff game,
I remember.
That day you were like, you just looked at me, you're like, you want to go to the Yankee game? And I was like, seriously? We bought last minute playoff tickets. It was the ALCS, no? Yeah.
It was, yeah. Yeah, no.
It was actually a good game.
We got tickets for cheap too. It was like nothing. I don't know why the hell that was.
Cheap. And then Raul Ibanez tied the game. They were losing. Raul Ibanez tied the game. We were going nuts. You were cheering louder than I was. And then Jeter broke his leg, and you can literally hear a pin drop in the stadium.
Oh, yeah. That was a weird experience to have in a stake. All the stadiums and events that I've been to in my life, like, I've never seen anything like that.
That was wild. But I feel like if you were a true Met fan, like if you didn't have any loyalty to the Yankees, you couldn't have you were genuinely going crazy that night.
Well, I have this is my problem. This is a fundamental problem I have, I think, with Mets fans in general. Like, how do I put this? We're not in the same league. We're not in the same division. The hell do I care?
I don't hate the Mets
every year.
Yeah,
I never hated the Yankees. I don't have a problem with it. It's my hometown. It's the next hometown team. If when the Mets inevitably crash and don't make the playoffs, at least I have somebody else that I can have somewhat of a vested interest in. So maybe that's not a true Mets fan loyalist answer, because I think most people just hate the Yankees, can't stand them, blah, blah, blah. Like, first of all, as a Mets fan, I will fully admit I have no place to say a word to a Yankees fan, because what can I first of all, you can just trump me with 28 championships and whatever it is.
27. It would have been 28 if baseball played this year.
That's not too bad. You guys will claim that for 15 years.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, and I like when the Mets are good. It's better for baseball around here. We say it all the time on the show. I don't hate the Mets. I fucking hate the organization, though. As I put myself in a Mets fan's shoes, though, and that's why I hate the organization. They frustrate me to no end. They never do anything right.
There's nothing that can be done in the proper course that it should be done in, right? I mean, look at this past year. I mean, if we could have had our savior Cohen come in and take over the organization, right? But
they can't even sell the team right.
I know, it's terrible. And then we get what's his name, Beltran, in and out in 2 seconds. You can't make that shit up.
He was a good man. He was a good manager for a while.
He might have been the best 500 record.
Honestly, right? I didn't know. I thought they should have hired Girardi at that point. Like, you just say that because he's the best guy available at that time. But when you really think about it, like, Beltran could have been perfect for them. And I was I was genuinely excited for Mets fans. I really was.
I know. No, yeah, of course.
and then a couple days later, we
never get to see what happened again. I can't remember what the hell happened.
When the commissioner came out with his whole cheating scandal with the Astros, he didn't name drop any of the players that are still players, but because Beltran
burned everybody else.
Yeah, and listen, I put it this way. Everyone thinks it's wrong that he listed Beltran because he was a player at the time. If Beltran wasn't a manager when all this came out, his name would have been kept secret. It was because they had to do their job and expose anyone who could be altering any games, because I say it all comes down to the gambling. Like, you can't have people spending this much money on betting on games, and then someone finds out that Beltran was like the ringleader. Oh, he's the manager of the Mets. Nothing happened to him. You can't have that. Their main goal.
I understand why that makes sense. That makes sense. It's just, it's just, obviously it doesn't work out in our favor. Going back, I'm sure you guys talked about this at length, right? But the whole cheating thing, blows my mind about that the most. My God, you played a little high school or college ball, right? But like, as someone who only played high school athletics and like follows sports, at a moderate degree, like, it blows my mind that a clubhouse full of professional athletes who theoretically love the game and played their entire life and dreamed about being in the show and all this stuff, like all the way up and down, can just be like, yeah, we're okay cheating the game. Like,
it's crazy.
How is that possible?
Listen,
that not one person is like, I was thinking like, maybe I'm sure people were uncomfortable about it. Like, I'm sure everyone wasn't like, hell yeah, let's do this. But like, I guess at that point, if you're like the one guy who's like, I don't really know about this, like, this isn't right. Like, this isn't the way I was taught to play the game. But then, like, you're not going to be like, oh, sorry, teammates, I'm going to blow the whistle on you, I guess, right? The
problem was that so many teams were getting an edge in some way, shape, or form. So when all this happened, they felt like they were okay with it because, hey, everyone does it in some way. No one's going to come out and throw us under the bus.
Yeah.
And it just kind of spiraled out of control. My biggest two things with the Astros is not that they cheated and won a championship. That team was fucking good. They were probably going to win a championship anyway. My biggest thing is that the whole thing is just massive. Like you just said, every single person had to be involved for this to work. And the whole operation wasn't just like, hey, you're going to stand in center field and signal to us, and it was, okay, we're going to set up a camera. We're going to wire it down to the clubhouse. We're going to set up a monitor that needs to be taken down after every single game so that no one thinks we're here. We're going to hire a guy to sit there and bang on a garbage can so we can relate to the hitter. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't just gaining an edge. It was a systematic approach to like cheating in the game.
Like, well, and between the lines, you can do it. All that shit's fine. Like in high school, if we were on second base and we could pick up the signs, we used to have a thing where if it was a fastball, you'd stick out like your right arm or something, you'd have to be fucking nonchalant. You're not going to just fucking stick your hand out. And then if it was an off speed pitch, you'd stick out your left hand and the batter would somewhat know. And that's fine. You could do that all day.
That's completely different to me. That to me is nothing. If you're, that's bad on the pitcher and catcher, not by your signs. If you're out there, like, why would you not? You're going to keep it to yourself if you know a fastball is coming.
Right.
Like, that's just, then you're just not playing smart.
If you are smarter than the other team and you can pick it up between the lines and figure it out and how to relay it, fucking all day. You have to have an edge in baseball. Baseball's difficult. Me and you fucking, I was a good first baseman and I was a lefty pitcher that pitched in high school. I pitched against the worst fucking teams. You actually saved one of my no-hitters against.
That's right.
I was actually hammered. I don't want to incriminate myself, but I was drunk and I was not supposed to play. And then our coach looked at me and he's like, Dathy, warm up your pitching. And I was just like, holy fuck. I can't tell the difference from the sky to the ground. I threw a no-hitter.
Oh, yeah.
And you laid out. You laid out for me. That's when I knew you were a good friend.
Down the left field line. That's right.
That was the highlight of both of our careers.
That was pretty much it. After that, it was nothing. I can't remember who we played. It was bottom of the barrel. One of those teams that we used to.
I think it was.
So the varsity team used to get so far ahead on them that we would let them, or no, we would run the bases.
Literally,
when they got like a walk until they tagged. That was the most embarrassing thing. Like,
it was literally like 20-year-olds playing 12-year-olds and just having to like run around. It's like if I were to go to my kids' school and do like a pickup baseball game, I'd have to let them like get me out. That's how it was.
Yeah, exactly. Is that more insulting to do that? Like, I don't know if people know what we're talking about.
I think they appreciated it.
If you but I think that was worse.
It was bad. It was pretty bad. But the funniest thing was when I did get recruited to college, which I did my freshman year of college. I had it was the best year of baseball in my life. when they did like my profile, my bio, I never gave them anything. It was just part of the the recruiting sheet they had, and they're like threw a no hitter in high school, and I was like, you weren't there for it.
It looks great on paper.
It looks really good. All right, so my biggest thing right now, we talked about this like last week. I've had all types of computer issues, which is why we haven't recorded a normal show, but we will this week. I found like a little quiz online, and it's like, if you can get these questions right, you're a true Mets fan. And I was like, Matt will not get a lot of these. But here's
how many are there?
There's 10. And I want to preface the quiz by saying this. There's some questions, right? And it's like, this is just off the top of my head. It's not a real question. Who was the MVP in the 1969 World Series? And in my head, I'm going, that's kind of not fair, because I don't know who the MVP was of like the Yankees 1963 World Series, whatever, 61. But then I'm like, but I would if I only had 2 championships. Like, if I was a true Yankee fan, I would know everything there is to know about their 2 World Series that they had. So I just want to preface by saying, right, it might seem unfair, but it's not. Like, if you're a true fan, this team has only been around since, I think that's one of the questions, I won't say it. And they have 2 championships. So you should know these if you're a true blue Mets fan.
How would I, like, am I supposed to look it up? Am I supposed to go back and watch the 69 World Series? And
I love the Yankees to a point where I want to know all the history. Like, I know so much about the history of the Yankees. I couldn't tell you every particular of their World Series because there's been 27 championships. They've been in the World Series, 42 times, 43 times, 42, I think, 44. I don't know. I don't fucking know right now. My head is so...
Sounds like you're bragging. You're just bragging now.
I have quarantine brain right now. So I think at the end of the day, this is a fair quiz.
All right, I'm ready for it. Let's go, man.
Do you want me to give you the multiple choice of it?
Does it come with multiple choices?
It does.
Let's see how I do through like 2, and then we'll go from there.
All right, deal.
I'm betting I get 7. I'm going 7 out of 10. I get.
All right, so the first question.
I'd be proud of myself if I get 7 out of 10. If it's the 69 MVP question.
That might be on there. I don't even know. All right, so the first question, the guy goes, I'll start out easy. And then right after I read that and I read the question, I'm like, I don't know if he's going to get this. What years did the Mets go to the playoffs?
Go to the playoffs?
Yep.
Just go?
Just go.
Oh, my God. All right. 69, 86. 20, just the wild card count, 2015. Or no, that was the World Series.
You know what?
2015. Go ahead.
I have to give you multiple choice. Because what if you give me a question that's not, what if you give me an answer that's not correct? I need to mark these off and then hit submit to see the true answers.
All right, deal.
All right, so your option A, 69, 86, 98, and 2000. 69, option B, 69, 86, 99, 2000, 2006. C, C, 69, 2000, 2006, 99, 86,
all right, that's not that.
88,
I don't think they're switching the dates up.
73.
Are these in numerical order?
That one wasn't.
Well, hang on, because I marked it off because you went from 69 to 2000. So give me that one again.
69.
Okay.
2000. 2006. 99. 86. 88. 73.
3.
And then,
okay.
And
when was this made?
That's
sorry. Give me the last one.
No, that's a good question.
If we're not going to 2015, then I don't.
It's not. So it gets cut off before then. So just whatever numbers work out.
Keep going.
69, 86, 88, 99, 2000, 2006. So this is obviously before 2015.
2006. 99 to that. All right. So let's say 89. I know it's not A. I know it's not B. I'm pretty sure. 6, 9, 86, and 73. 2000, 2006. I'm going to go C. I'm going to go C on that one.
Wow. I like that. Okay.
The most.
Question 2. The Mets had a record. I don't know yet.
All right.
The Mets had a record-breaking 120 losses in 1962, their inaugural season. How many wins did they have?
What was the loss number again?
120. Now, I'm going to give you this because I didn't know until I read it.
When they expanded the season?
They didn't play 162 games in 1962. That's all I'll tell you.
Right.
So, A, 42, B, 40, C, 41, D, 32, E, 45, F, 46.
Now you're messing with me. Is there an E and an F?
Yeah.
Come on. This is the least fair quiz you've ever taken. Let's say 40. Let's go with an even 40.
I actually think you're right on that. I think they played 160 games. Again, if my team had a record-breaking loss of a year, I'm knowing how many wins they had. How many games did the 1969 World Series go till, and who did the Mets face?
Oh, God. Not a clue.
I'm not going to say A, B, C, D anymore. 6 games versus the Yankees. 7 games versus the Red Sox. 5 games versus the Blue Jays. 4 games versus the Cardinals. 4 games versus the Angels. Or 5 games versus the Orioles.
Let's go 5 versus the Orioles, baby.
Wrong. Next. Okay, question 4. I even know that one. Question 4. Which Mets player hit 41 home runs in a season? Again, this is probably cut off in 06 or whatever.
Right.
Mike Piazza and Carlos Beltran. Mike Piazza and Todd Hundley. Carlos Beltran and Todd Hundley. None of the above.
41 in a season. I don't know. Can I go F Darryl Strawberry?
You want to go none of the above?
I'm going to say none of the above.
Wrong. Next. 5.
Do you really know that?
I know it.
Know that.
I do. 5. How many MVPs have the Mets ever had? 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, or 9? Let's go 5. I think that's safe. I would go 0. I don't know if they've ever. No, they definitely. I would have went with 2. I think.
Yeah, that seems a little high. Now that I think about it.
Okay. This is a good one. Which member of the Mets in 2006 made the last out as a Montreal Expo in the last game played by the franchise before they became the Washington Nationals in 2005? Chris Woodward, Julio Franco, Orlando Hernandez, or Andy Chavez?
Say it again?
That's an unfair question. We're just
it's about the Expos?
I think let's go Julio Franco. I'm going to go with you on this one. That's a bullshit question. I don't like that
weird.
one.
These are, I don't like
no, this one's good. This one's good. What is the name? Question 7. What is the name of the park Shea Stadium was located in? Flushing Meadows Corona Park? No pun intended. Flushing Meadows Park, Corona Park, Flushing Park, Flushing Meadows Park. They gave that twice. Alley Pond Park.
I'm pretty sure it's Flushing Meadows Park now.
I think so. Well, I don't know why they threw Corona in there.
Corona's part of it too, some way or another. I don't know. It cuts off somewhere.
This is a good one too. This is one you should know. Question 8. What was the ballpark the Mets played in before Shea Stadium was established? Yankee Stadium, Ebbets Field, the Polo Grounds, Ebbets. And they want the borough too. Ebbets Field, Yankee Stadium, or Polo Grounds?
Polo Grounds.
Oops. I don't know. Question 9. What current football team used to play in Shea Stadium? Giants, Bills, Jets, Jags, Patriots, or 49ers? Obviously, I think you can eliminate the last 3.
Gotta be the Jets, right?
Let's go Jets. Okay, last question. Question 10. What team did the Mets lose to in the 1973 World Series in 7 games? The Yankees, Red Sox, Athletics, Angels, or Tigers?
I'm going to take the Tigers.
I didn't even know the Mets were in the World Series in 73.
No, I just learned that too.
See, there you go. You're going Tigers?
I'm going Tigers.
Getting the results.
How'd we do? That was not what I was expecting.
Got to say, though, you did pretty well.
What I get?
You got a 40.
All right.
I can give you some off the top of my head.
Almost half.
How many?
Yeah, give me your personal quiz.
All right. How many before 2015? When was the last time the Mets were in the World Series?
2015. 2000.
Against who?
The Yanks. I remember that Subway Series.
How many
Jeter hit a
games?
home run off the first pitch. That was terrible.
How many games did it go?
Was it a clean sweep? Was it only 4?
Nope.
5. Yeah,
we watched it at my 30th birthday party.
What did we do?
Remember, my wife had it on the was playing the old classic games on the TV.
Where was that?
You were probably really drunk.
Never mind.
All right, let me think of another one.
Say I knew that one.
Kind of.
Maybe kind of. I got it all right. All right.
Who has the most home runs as a Met rookie?
And
this
that's Strawberry. That's Daryl.
And this, my friends, is me just true. I don't even have to ask you any more questions. The fact that you don't know, it's what's his face from last year? Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso.
Just proves to me. How many games did you watch last year? 10?
3.
Is it that bad? You don't
have time. I can't sit down. I don't know. I can't sit down and watch a whole game.
To be fair, though, you're not like would you say you're a huge baseball fan?
I love baseball. I like to play it more than I like to watch it.
Is your dad's a big Met fan, Chuck?
Yeah. He probably watches more than I do, but he's not crazy about it. Like,
and you love
happens.
You love your father still. You guys still have a good relationship.
We're really digging deep in here. I didn't realize.
Do you wish that your dad was? Do you wish in some way your dad was a Yankee fan growing up, so that you were a Yankee fan and maybe you had another sport that you were truly like passionate about?
No, I wouldn't want to be like a pompous like winner like you guys.
I'm not pompous. I love baseball. I have to say, if I was a Met fan, I would still love the game, but I don't know if I'd be like a true hardcore Met fan. Not because they haven't been good, because they have been over, 2015. That team was friggin' phenomenal. They should have won.
Yeah, that was exciting.
That's not why
what was it, 2016? I was at the wild card game. That was crazy. 16?
Yeah, 16. They made it to the wild card. I think they lost to the Giants. I don't know.
Because it was what's his name, Ibanez, that hit the homer to break the game open and make us lose. Who was he with?
I want to say the Giants, but
it's right.
But honestly, I don't know if I'd be a diehard Met fan just because, again, I hate the organization. I hate the Wilpons. Yeah. I hate the Wilpons like I'm a Met fan.
I know. Well, I agree with that. I mean, that's what it all stems from, but it's just not fun to watch when they suck so bad.
And you guys have such a nice Citi Field is one of my favorite stadiums I've ever been to.
I love Citi Field. I'm mad that I don't go more. I don't even care about the game, to be honest.
I was just going to ask you. Let me ask you this. Say the Mets suck. They're completely out of it by June on any given year. And you're not allowed to consume any alcohol at Citi Field. Would you still go to games?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
you just love being there.
It's a great place. A lot of good food too. I mean, you're just going to a game in general. I don't care who it is, man. Like, it's always fun to go to a sporting event like that.
That's what sucks the most about this. Like this whole fucking quarantine shit. Even if they get going, which is all I care about, but like when you really think about it, you're not even gonna be able to go to a ball game.
No, it's going to be that crowdless games and everything. How much of the season are they even going to? I mean, I know it's not that late yet, but when are they going to start realistic? Are they actually going to try and get a full season in?
Well, that's the problem. They're like putting together all these stupid fucking ideas. They're like, maybe we'll do 7-inning double headers. Everyone's going to play in Arizona. It's like, you know what? Just fucking call the season. Just start fresh next year. We'll just pick it back up where it left off. But they don't want to. They don't want
to be canceled. I'm not gonna have anything in 2020.
They don't want to do that because not only are they losing revenue, obviously, but a lot of these guys who are under contract, they're gonna have to get paid as if it's a year, and they're losing a year. Like apparently, if this even if the season doesn't start, they signed Brett Gardner. The Yankees signed Brett Gardner to 1 more year. After this, I think that's it. Like he doesn't get to just come back in 2021. That's the shit.
No, I'm sure not.
But, like, I don't even think football is going to get underway when it's supposed to.
I highly doubt it at this point.
Are you... Last thing, we'll get the fuck off here. Are you a Stern fan?
No. Never really listened to him much.
I heard today... Someone told me today that he had Tom Brady on, and it's one of the best interviews ever.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll give that a listen.
Like Tom Brady,
I never didn't like him. I just never got it. I was never into him.
He's such a good interviewer. He pretty much gets Tom Brady to admit that he knew after last year that was it. He wasn't coming back.
I read that somewhere.
Yeah, he pretty much sat down and they knew it. And just like a bunch of personal shit, obviously. I think he talks about Gronk a little bit too in the clubhouse. So that's always fun.
There's got to be some good stuff.
Definitely something that
give that a listen.
Being quarantined, you probably have to listen to it.
Yeah, I'll give that a go.
Because there's nothing else. All right, last question for you. Did you watch Tiger King?
Of course I did.
Is it good?
It's amazing. You ever watched it? Did we talk about this?
No, I haven't watched it yet. I don't know if I have to. I just have to watch it because everyone else has.
That definitely. I think you'll be so enraged by these people and have so many opinions about it. It'll be great. It'll be great. It'll be a great Twitter feed for you for a couple of days.
I was texting Cammie the other day, her buddy Jim, and he was talking to me about Tiger. He's like, "You got to watch Tiger King immediately."
Yeah.
And I told him,
if Cammie watches it, you got to watch it.
I know. And then I was like, "Do you have Disney Plus, by the way?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course." And then I was like, me and Meg were putting something on for Jack the other day, African Cats. It's like Disney Nature, and it's like live. Right. We put it on his iPad. We're like, all right, Jack, go fucking watch your African Cats and get away. I watched the entire fucking thing. Samuel L. Jackson is the narrator.
Oh, and there you go. That's good enough right there.
And he acts as if he knows the cats. And it's if you just have a few drinks in you and just watch it, it's one of the greatest things you'll ever watch. It's pretty good.
Maybe I'll fire that up tonight, too.
You should.
Give me a lot of stuff to take in.
I'm telling you. I got
African Cats. Just me and my roommate watching African Cats together on Disney Plus.
Well, it's better than fucking doing nothing. Where is Casper? Don't you guys live in just like a studio apartment? You guys have rooms there?
We have. I got my own room here. I'm all grown up now. 31-year-old man with a roommate.
All right, bro. We'll do this again soon.
All right.
We'll get you on a real show.
Yeah, man.
Maybe if the season ever gets underway, we'll go to some games together and then report back.
Like, yeah, well, I was looking forward to your whatchamacallit day at the stadium thing, whatever that was.
Oh, yeah, July 11th. That's fucking out the bag, probably. I got to actually
talk. Maybe we'll just get together. Maybe we'll get together that day.
Maybe we'll pretend.
We'll put on the 73 World Series. And
if we're not quarantined still, which who the hell knows, then we'll just pretend.
All right, I can do that.
Play a little dizzy bat. This is the last thing I'm going to say. Last thing, because people need to know this if it ever comes back. I think they do it more. Best moment at Yankee Stadium for me, outside of Yankee games, was the Winter Classic we went to.
Yes, easily. We went to the same lot that we used to go to, that river. Was it the river?
River Ave
parking lot.
Anyone listening to this who went to that Devils Rangers game, how many years ago was that? Man, that was a long time. I was like,
it's like six or 7 years ago now.
Anyone who went and purchased tickets on StubHub, which is like the only place you had to walk to StubHub. I cut the entire line somehow. I found a group of drunk teens, and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna slip right in here.
Didn't you pay somebody to cut them too?
No. I was. These girls were fighting with their boyfriends, and I was like, this is the best spot I can cut into. They had no idea.
Oh my God.
And then I got most of our money back from StubHub. I called up and said
we got it. We didn't miss 1 second of the game.
I said we missed everything.
We're probably like, let's get the hell out of here. It's freezing. It was like 9 degrees that day.
Dude, we got beers and we walked up to the upper deck because we had bleacher seats, but you couldn't see. We walked up to the upper deck. The beers.
Those were such a bad idea.
Yeah, the beers froze over. They froze over by the time we got to the top.
It was. Remember, you had like,
I had bags.
Classic you, like completely underprepared for everything that's happening.
Everything.
So you had like a pair of thin leather boots. You're like, this is good, and like just a regular pair of socks on. And then you tied like plastic bags around your feet to keep your feet in.
My feet were literally blue the entire time.
That was terrible.
It was awful. It was great.
It was good. I'd do it again in a heartbeat, but like,
and there was like 12 goals I think the Rangers scored like 12 goals in a row.
Yeah, it was like nothing. It was like a total BS game, but it was cool. I wonder if they probably hate doing that. I don't know if they like that.
I don't know.
But
all right, bro.
It's yeah.
I appreciate your time. I know you.
Thanks for having me.
I know you're a busy guy.
Yeah, if you want to slot me into a recurring spot, just my number.
I would love to. All right. Episode 170B, because I'm not good enough to get my own number. 171 should be coming back, at least with me and Christian, within the next few days. So keep an eye out. Matty Mac, follow him on Twitter, even though he's only on there to troll me.
Yeah. If you follow Chris, you can follow me essentially.
At Matty Balls. All right, bro.
All right, bro.
This is fun. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me on.
Be careful of the cove.
Stay safe, I guess.
Later.
Okay, bye.